Hello, it is Jay here with my No Ums, No Ahs video number 15, my weekly check-in with how I'm going with my vocal studies, how to get better at presenting myself on camera, at least vocally speaking. Visuals, that'll be another video. That'll be another whole series of videos to try and figure out how to deal with this mess. So it has been another, I've been consistent week, continuing to do my warm-up articulation exercises. That's doing the yawning, that's doing the tongue twisters, that's doing the clenching the pen between my teeth, which actually I haven't done today. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. And I think Darren McStay, when he uses that technique, he also uses it more specifically, so he's having trouble enunciating something properly. I'm proud to be a part of this prodigious precipitous potato of a planet. I'm proud to be a part of this prodigious precipitous potato of a planet. So if you put the knuckle in your mouth and you've forced your jaw to kind of remain shut or remain in fixed place, it makes your tongue and the rest of your vocal apparatus do that much more work. And then when you take it out and repeat it, theoretically it comes out a little bit clearer. I've been mostly just using it to do the ABCs at the very beginning of kind of a warm-up exercise. To this, because I just did my vocal video study, which was about how to ultimate breath control exercises, I've added this little thing and putting up against the wall and below it, trying to fill up my lungs, but using diaphragmatic breathing, which is imagining a pear-shaped balloon that's filling up very much, not at the top, keeping your shoulders down, but filling up the bottom, kind of coming in there at the sacrum, groin, kind of that area, filling up, which I guess is to sort of just kind of you're expanding out all the diaphragmatic, those muscles down there underneath the lungs, to work at getting them, expanding that up, and then putting this against the wall and blowing on it and trying to hold it in one place. I'm not being very successful so far, but I am working on that as we go along. Now it's interesting, the things that have somewhat tripped me up, because the vocal video before that was on how to remember your lines, improve by another Darren McStay video, which was very much about how you should break up your speeches into, here, I'm just going to pause for a second. Sorry, just sorting out a puppy there who has decided to bark because there's somebody outside. Oh my goodness. Versus the little puppy here who was asleep until the barking started. So yeah, I was working on the thing of how to remember your lines, and the whole idea of breaking up the text into ideas, writing out those ideas into your own voice, which, it's theoretically my own voice, but then drilling your lines. And this whole kind of involved procedure has completely stalled me on doing my next review, because it's like, oh, I need to do this. Oh, I can't. It's like, oh, it's so much work. And it's like, I'm not getting anything done, which may show either my own limitations or just a mental block of trying to use this method. It also just might be this method isn't going to work for me, and I need to work out a little bit better of a method, or I just need to practice. I just may need to practice and continue practicing until I can do it. I don't want to edit my videos, though. That is a big part of my thing. I have a whole ton of videos on the computer which I haven't gotten to. Videos, some tag videos as well, not just reviews, but tag videos, all of which are just languishing on the computer, and I haven't gotten to any of them. I need to do my prep work beforehand, record a video, and then publish whatever the results are. And that's going to have to be good enough, or else I'm just never going to get anything done. I can feel the stress on me from that. It's like that's not fun to me. And it's just because it eats up my time. It eats up my time. So I think after this, I'm going to try and look at my prep work that I've done for the Marrow Thieves review. Try and think about how I can break up and put how I can deliver the Marrow Thieves review in a smooth way. And perhaps just that introduction, I'll record the introduction a number of times until it feels like, okay, this is smooth enough. Then I will just do a full review with the introduction at the beginning, and just give myself a little warm up of doing that, because I know that's my weak spot. So try and drill that beginning a good couple of times until it's like, okay, this is smooth, and go right into the rest of the review. See if I have anything to say. It's supposedly a casual review. That's the most frustrating thing. This is a review that I'm not even planning on releasing, but it's completely blocked me. So I need to hop over that and just do. And okay, I'm not going to have super prep, and that's a problem. Sometimes super preparation means I never actually do anything, because I'm never super prepared. I'm never going to be super prepared, am I? So I just have to let that go. I have to let that go. So this week I actually did, well, I'll pat myself on the back. The good thing about these no ums, no ahs videos is I go, oh, how am I doing? And I actually watched a couple of my videos. I listened to my last vocal video exercise, the whole one about breath. I worked on that one. I worked on that one. I listened to that one, and I think I did a fairly good job. There's always a bit of ums and ahs in there. I'm definitely using words like definitely and actually in my reviews, in my speech patterns, and I think that's a good thing to be aware of. It's not the end of the world, but just to be aware of stuff like that. It was fairly smooth, especially considering I was doing a report, so I wasn't particularly expressing my own views or ideas. I was reporting on a method that Darren McStay had presented in his video. So it was pretty good. The other thing I listened to, which wasn't so great, was me reading the poems of Propertius, and there's very much a bit of a robot voice going there. I'm not engaging on a kind of emotional level with the poetry. I think it's that poetry is really great in that you have to be very precise about the particular words. But there is a thing with poetry is there's just sometimes you have no fucking idea what you're reading out. And then there's all the foreign names and stuff like that. But I'm not even gonna go there at the moment. That's not my concern at this moment. If I was wanting to be a voiceover artist, yes, I think learning how to pronounce place names and names properly would be a big thing. At this point, I'm just trying to work on diction, but a part of that has to be engaging with the text. So that was actually a good thing to do. I listened to that and was like, fuck, I sound crappy here. So I took that, and for the last two poems in book number 1, I tried to, whatever, put some emotion in there, even if it's completely inappropriate and I have no idea, like he's sounding happy here when it's actually a sad part of the poem, and sad where it's a happy part of the poem. It's like, well, at least I'm putting some kind of spin on it to make it listenable, because I don't think a lot of the poems before that, all 20 of them before this point, I wonder how very listenable they are, because it is me very much trying to get the words and forgetting about the impulse behind the words, which is why people would listen to you talk, why people would listen to the thing. I mean, I am using the poetry reading very much as a mechanical exercise to get myself better at enunciating words. So I shouldn't be too hard on myself, but also I am spending a long part of each day doing it. And I don't want that robotic delivery of poetry to work its way into how I'm talking just on a regular video. That would not be an improvement. That would be a downgrade. So there's that. So there's that as well. Also, I felt incredibly slow. I think I felt incredibly slow in the videos that I was doing before that, because I was trying to get the language and I was focusing on each word, versus, oh, I'm talking and you've got the emotion in there, and even if the word speed isn't that much quicker, if you've got emotion there, it kind of carries you along much more than if you are going re, ki, pe, de, ba, ha, fa, ma, go, sha, wo, zu, versus re, ki, pe, de, ba, ha, fu, ma, go, sha, wo, zu. The Linklater tree that happens to be on this piece of paper that I've got covering the viewfinder. So that was actually valuable to listen to my back at myself, what I'm doing, what I'm recording, and it's painful to watch myself, but it is actually useful. I get useful information out of that, of how I'm doing, and ideas on how to improve myself, which is important. Is important. So, what's next then? Number one is, after this, try and get a review of The Marrow Thieves out. Understand that you're going to muck up the introduction. Try recording multiple versions of the introduction to get it smoother, or just, record one long rambling, okay, here's one take, here's the next take, here's the next take, until it feels a bit smoother. And then when it feels like that, okay, start over again, do the full review, and see maybe if you just go one little tick, it's one little tick better than before. And it might even work well as a method to start off to doing a lot of these reviews, is just record yourself doing that introduction a couple of times until, okay, I feel like I've got it in my mouth, I've got it in my memory, I'll go. And then then stop and then press record and do a full review. That might be the best method for someone, especially my practice is always doing these, it's always going to be on video. I'm not going in front of an audience. So while that method might not work for it will work for my purposes. What are my purposes? Why do I want to get better at speaking? It's to do these presentations on camera. So that's what I'm going to try and do, as well as, yes, as I'm going forward in the poetry reading, try and think about how I can inject emotion into the poetry. Don't lose sight of that this is words and that they're supposed to convey something, not just get sort of bogged down in the particulars. And if I just find I can't, maybe I'll put Propertius aside. Oh, I'd hate that, but I can already tell that what I've done so far is not something that particularly is going to be of interest to anybody. So the only reason I would be doing it is if it's useful for me. And if it isn't useful for me, there's no point in doing it. But I did do those last two poems with a little bit more verve, which is good. All right, I've been Jay. More videos coming right up.